Hi, everybody. So today I'm with you from Rewired Creatives, Inc., which is the company that I formed to do editing and coaching and all kinds of other stuff. And we have great announcements today. So we're running this on my page, but I want you to come over to Rewired Creatives, Inc. So I will give you that link afterwards, and we'll give you some information about what's happening. But let me introduce everybody first. I'm Dawn Reno Langley. I'm the president of Rewired Creatives. I'm also a novelist. I write nonfiction, essays, theater reviews, poetry, short stories, everything but screenplays. So that's who I am. And this is Carolyn Burns-Bass. Carolyn, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I am an author. I am a trained journalist going back probably about 40 years. I've been published in magazines, newspapers, online media, and I have my very first book coming out in January, which is a biography of the Bronte sisters. Fascinating story, which I researched while I was writing a novel called Whispering Nights, which is currently with my agent. I will be working with Dawn in editing and manuscript consultation and anything related to publishing. Thank you.
She also is the founder of Lit Chat, which is a Twitter phenomenon that interviews editors and agents and authors. She's had some big ones like
Sarah Gruen,
Water for Elephants,
Mitch Albom,
Tuesdays with Maury.
yep, Susan Orlean,
Lots
New
of
Yorker.
Yeah, lots of big folks. So don't let her hide her light under her bushel. She's also a great editor. She works with me on my books. And John Obermeyer. Tell us who you are. What you do.
I'm John Obermeyer. I specialize in memoir, blogs, and business books. And I have about 12 books of my own up on Amazon, and I've done about 15 business books for clients. But I'm kind of intimidated that last.
No, he's also got an MFA in
Yeah.
poetry from UNCG, right?
Yeah, from UNCG, and I just found out I'm the second time finalist for the James Applewhite Poetry Prize here in North Carolina. 2 years in a row, which is a good feeling.
Yeah, and he's been published in the North Carolina Review as well as many other literary journals. So even though these two won't say it, ton of experience in this group, more than 50 publications, much more, lots of stuff going on with the three of us. So one of the things we wanted to announce today was this collaborative of writers who's working with me for Rewired Creatives. The other thing we want to announce is that we've got two events coming up that are just the beginning of a new phase of Rewired Creatives, and that's we have a day-long publishing retreat called The Business of Publishing at Piedmont Community College on October 6th from 9 to 4. We've got information we're going to share, and we also have a really special retreat called Right on the Beach, WRITE. And Carolyn, tell us a little bit about the place that we're going to be staying at on the beach.
Well, this is on one of North Carolina barrier islands. It's Topsail Island in an area where the homes are large and stretching out from coast or from sea to sea, from the sound side to the beach side. And we've selected a large home where we can accommodate as many as 8 writers to join us on an oceanfront retreat where we will discuss the type of writing that the writers are interested in. We realize with the three of us that we have a really wide range of genres that we can talk about and discuss and edit. We want to be able to invite people that have many of these different genres and channel them between one of us as mentors. So, for instance, someone who loves poetry and wants to improve poetry is going to migrate to John. Somebody who wants to write fiction might migrate between myself or Dawn. Dawn has written fiction in several different genres. Her most recent book, The Morning Parade, is literary fiction, or you might say high concept upmarket women's fiction. but she's written historical, she's written children's, she's written just about everything. I specialize right now in historical fiction, but I have written fiction in many other genres. So we also want to talk about nonfiction. John has written much, I shouldn't speak for John, but memoir. I've written travel writing. I've written essays. I've, of course, lit chat, literary critique. And we can accommodate writers that have many different interests.
So John, what do you see as your role in this, and how do you think you're going to work with students who come? Or actually, it doesn't have to be a student. You can just come and write and just get feedback.
Well, I have conversations all the time with people that say, I have a book within me, I don't know how to get it out. And I think
all the time.
maybe the best title for us is We Are Book Whisperers. We can help you actually extract that. We're like a Navy SEAL team. We will go in and extract that book from you and get it out. And we can do that that can be done in a matter of months. And then because of things like CreateSpace and other self-publishing tools, I'm kind of a coach as much as I'm an editor. And I'm not really, I will admit to you, I'm not really a grammarian. I want you to hire a proofreader. But
That's me.
I'm much more of a structural editor and a coach, and I'll kind of help you kind of figure out, once it's out on the page, maybe what's the best pathway to tell the story.
But what about at the beach, John? What do you think you're going to do with people at the beach on that 4-day?
I would say the same thing. It's basically helping people say, hey, I have this idea. And it's how do you help them tease that out in a way that's still organic to them. I don't want to tell them the way I would do it, but what's a way that's organic to their life story and the way they should be telling the story? That's one of the main problems I have with critique groups is people critique things in the way that they would write it, which is not helpful to the writer. I think the thing about us is because we're professionals at this, we're going to keep more of an objective professional distance, but also be that really strong sense of encouragement. I also think what's cool is we're going to start the day with yoga, right?
Right. We've got plans for how the day is going to go. I mean, this place is, you can see the beach on one side, there's a pool, there's a hot tub, and on the other side is the sound. So no matter where you stay in this house, you're going to have a view. And to me, that's inspirational. But we're going to inspire you even more. What we think is different about this particular retreat is that we're going to start off in the morning with some yoga if you want it. If you don't, that's okay too. And then at breakfast, we'll have each one of us will take turns to choose a passage from a book that is inspirational to us as writers, share them with you, and talk about what is it that works. And that's what I think that I focus on when I work with other writers. What's the thing that works in a scene or with a character or with dialogue that I can help you tease out, as John says.
Yeah. I often find many times, the best line is buried inside the third paragraph as a single sentence or an image. And I'm like, what if we let's just forget the first two paragraphs and let's just jump right into your very strong sentence and lead from there. And I think it's that kind of intuitive thing that we probably all have as writers and teachers to help people go, that is the nugget right there. And you should really build around that like an oyster.
It's the digging deeper.
Yeah.
Right.
And oftentimes what I found working with clients as well as my own work is that we as writers know our story so well. We put it on the page and we're expecting our readers to know it as well as we do. And yet we haven't expressed all of the deep details that the readers need to know in the intimacy that we do as the writer. And that's what a writing coach does. And that's what a really good developmental editor does, is they tell you, dig deeper. Find out, what are you really trying to say? What does this character need to feel here? And that's essentially what John was talking about as well.
And sometimes you have to tell people the thing you care most about, I'm going to ask you to let go of that.
Throw out the babies.
Because there's this really, really neat section in here that has a much larger appeal than you realize. And I may ask you to throw away something and keep something and build around it.
You've all heard the recent story. I mean, it's a long, old story, but it's been in the news recently about Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird and the new novel that they have put out with from the original version that she wrote called Set of Watchmen. Well, Harper Lee met with an editor who saw the brilliance of her writing, but he saw one kernel, like John was talking about, in that huge manuscript, and he said, "This is your story. You go home and you take out everything else and you write this story and come back to me." And she did that. And the book that we all know and love that has won awards and will be printed till the end of time is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Now, one of the things that I want to go back to, John talked about briefly, is the professionalism. That's one of the things that you will get with these three people. I have been writing since I was 9. Carolyn's been writing all her life. John has too. We work at this every day. Every day we go to our computers and we work and we support ourselves with our writing. So that's what we bring to the table. One of the other things that we're going to do at this retreat is to have a one-day business of publishing workshop that you can come to by itself. You don't have to come to the rest of the 4-day retreat. You can just come for that day, have lunch with us. If you want to sit on the deck and watch the sunset afterwards, bring a bottle of wine and we can talk with you. You can meet the people who are on the retreat and us, get a manuscript consultant from that as well. A few details. I'm not going to keep you guys long, but I'm going to add a few details. First of all, you can bring 25 pages. We'll look at the 25 pages of your work and work with you on that. Once a day, probably for a couple of hours, we'll work with you individually. So each of us is only going to have 2 or 3 people to work with. So you get our full attention. And when you get our full attention, you're obviously going to have somebody else besides yourself invested in the work. There are a couple of king-size rooms in the house. There's a couple of queen-size. There's a couple of twin beds if you want to come with a friend and you feel okay sharing that space. But we're going to have the brochure available after we're done here today. And I'm going to say hello to the people who are here. Hi, Charlene. I haven't seen you in a while. Charlie, thanks for joining us. Lana, Missy, I'm so glad you came. Spread the word. Tell all your writer friends that we're going to be doing this.
I think there's another thing to consider here. Is there's the 3 of us, but behind us are all the other writers that we socialize. We go to conferences, we go to readings, we have colleagues, we have professional friends, and all those strains of influence are represented in the 3 of us. So I really think you're not only just getting 3 writers to help you, you're getting probably 100 or 200 writers.
That's true.
You're getting
because of the influence of all the people, other writers that we work with. And the other thing is, writing is very, very, very solitary.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a chance to emerge from that cocoon, if you will, and join the 3 of us and have the social interaction, that honing of your work, and help you pull things together. The opportunity you normally wouldn't have, plus at the beach.
Right. You can't pass up at the beach, right?
Just the beach alone will be worth it.
I know. I'm looking
Kenny,
forward to it.
I want to talk about
Before we forget, I'm going to repeat this again, but let me just repeat this one. The dates,
Yeah.
April 11th through 15th, 2019. We'll repeat that again. Go ahead.
Right. Well, one of the benefits of a retreat, and especially a small group retreat, is meeting other writers.
Right.
Now, the 3 of us, we've known each other for a little while. And like John had said, we have a lot of writer friends, and we've come up through the ranks with some writers that, are best-selling authors now. Everyone journeys at their own pace. Their career is developed as they develop individually. But if you're a beginning writer, don't feel intimidated by the idea of coming to a writer's retreat. This is all about writing at whatever level you are. But if you're a beginning writer, especially, it's great for you to start making your own collaborative relationships in the writing community. Because the people that we've met, I met Dawn through another writer that I met through another writer, and you never know who you're going to meet and how you work together and how you kick it off. And we have a lot of mutual friends now because of each other.
Yeah, and
At
I'll
the
tell you
same
what, the
time.
writing tribe, we're all nuts.
Yeah.
Because we're all working by ourselves on a regular basis. But I've never met a more dedicated group of people in my life. We sit our butts down alone without a boss every day.
Mhm.
Now, Carolyn was talking about beginning writers, but this is also for those of you who have been out there for a while who just need a break. You just need a space without a phone or kids or the dog asking you to take them for a walk, to sit someplace and get into a new project or get some feedback on something you've been working on for a while, or just breathe.
If you
Just
just want
breathe.
time away, and if you feel like you don't want to participate in the morning breakfast inspiration, if you want to just hole up in your room and write, this is the space for you too. You don't have to feel compelled that you have to be a part of this workshop, that you have to read your work or be mentored. You can come and just write. I mean, we want to support you in what your need is.
Right. Now, the other thing that we offer, not only writing suggestions or comments, but also the fact that we've been working with editors and agents for years.
Mm.
I've had 6 agents. That's probably not a good thing to say, but I have. I've worked with a lot of editors. I've been an editor of literary publications myself. John's worked with a lot of editors. Carolyn has an agent now. She's worked with editors, and she knows lots of agents and editors from Lit Chat. So we've got the goods. We definitely have the goods. And we might have some special guests come and visit us while we're there. We're not going to say who because we don't know yet. But that's a possibility too.
We haven't confirmed that. Put it
Right.
that way.
Right.
Only thing I was thinking is you better file your taxes by April 10th next year so you can leave on the 11th and join us. That's the one way to
exactly.
remember when this is. You've got to have your taxes done April 10th.
So
Don't
come
brag about
celebrate
it.
that.
Come celebrate your tax filing.
Now we'll have all the food for you. So you can stand our food. It'll be good. And we'll have whatever you need to do to
Yeah.
make this your time. Now, one more thing. Last comments, we'll wrap this up so that I can share it on all the media, and then we're going to post the schedule, the brochure, and anything else that we need to give to you. Now, remember, there's only 8 spots. So if you want to come, you need to jump on this. And believe me, when you see this place, it's gorgeous. You'll want to come. Last words.
I'm good.
You're good?
I would just encourage people, just get the thing out of you. Write it down. I would insist, write it down. Whatever your choice is here, just get the thing out of you and get it on the page. So either you can work with it or somebody else can help you work with it and develop it. That's the most important thing.
Okay, everybody. So that's our big announcements. The Business of Publishing, October 6th, Piedmont Community College. Day-long work of publishing. You'll be getting lunch. We'll be talking about agents and editors, writing, everything. And then the 4-day Right on the Beach workshop, April 11th to the 15th. All the pricing and so forth is in the brochures. I'll send them out to you. Drop your email in the comments. And we'll post this on Carolyn's page and John's page and the Rewired Creatives Incorporated page. And by the way, if you haven't been by that page yet, we're going to be posting all kinds of writing comments, tips, reviews of books, information about whatever we have available. We're taking turns to post every day. Rewired Creatives Incorporated. So again, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
And don't forget, October 6th. Yep. And see you at Top Sale in April. Thank you, everybody. Bye, Sloan and Rebecca and everybody else I already said hello to. Thank you so much for coming. Have a good day. Bye-bye.